everybody. I'm going to go through Surya Namaskar with you. I'm going to go through about 8 rounds, starting with a fairly simple one and increasing it slightly to the full Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar means salute the sun. It's a fantastic warm-up for yoga. It's a fantastic short practice. It takes about 10 minutes to do 8 rounds. It's made up of 5 individual poses which are strung together in what we call a vinyasa. So if you just do 8 to 10 Surya Namaskars every day, which will take you 10 to 12 minutes, you've done a really good workup, you've stretched all those muscles out, and you'll feel great for the rest of the day. It's also a fantastic warm-up, so if you want to do Surya Namaskar and then go on and practice some of the twists or back bends or something like that, your body will be fairly warmed up. So let's get started. You're going to come to the front of your mat, big toes together, heels together, and we're going to lift those toes up and then replace them one by one from the baby toe, big toe last. Then coming up onto tippy toes, feeling a nice stretch along the front of your shins and your ankles, and then going and replacing your feet with the weight evenly distributed over your feet, energy running up your thighs. Engage your abs but don't hold tension in them. Roll your shoulder blades back, fingers nice and active by your sides. Inhale, and as you exhale, hands into Namaste. Inhale, exhale, folding forward. Place your hands above your knees and just use them as a gentle lever to push away to create space and length in your spine. And then folding forward, placing hands onto blocks or books or mat wherever you can reach. Extra stretch looking forward, and then tucking in Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the right. Front to meet the back into a plank, and we're going to try and get a nice straight line from the tip of our head down to our heels. So we're going to push the mat away with our hands, wrists underneath shoulders, engaging the abs, engaging the glutes, and then going down knees, chest, tummy, no belly flops, and tuck the toes, placing the toes on the mat, lifting the hands into baby upward facing dog. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, back into that plank, and then knees, chest, tummy, and into our first down dog of the day. So just starting off, and you can slowly bend in one leg, and then bending the other leg. Do this nice and slowly and really enjoy the stretch. And back onto the side. Making sure that the heels are behind the toes, so you can't see your heels, they're nice and flat, and you want them about 2 fists between them, so they're sort of underneath the hips. And then up onto tippy toes, looking forward, stepping forward on the right, left to meet the front, tucking in Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. And then onto the other side, hands above the head, folding forward, extra stretch looking forward, tucking in Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the left. Front to meet the back into a plank, keeping that nice, strong, firm plank. It's a really great pose just in itself. And then knees, chest, tummy, and tuck the toes, placing the top of the nails on the mat into a baby cobra. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, pushing back into plank, knees, chest, tummy, and then into downward facing dog. And just resting here for a moment. Just look at your hands up ahead of you. Your fingers should be spread. Your middle finger should be pointing forward, parallel to the edge of the mat. If your fingers are together, all the energy is going into your wrists. If you spread the fingers, you get a nice firm foundation. Push the mat away, and then try and spread the shoulder blades so that you create space between your ears and your upper arms. And then just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale onto tippy toes, looking forward, stepping forward on the left, back to meet the front, tucking in Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. The second one, we're going to do chaturanga push-ups. So you want to try and push yourself as hard as you can push yourself to build strength. You can always go back and do knees, chest for the last couple of rounds, but try and do a chaturanga push-up if you always do knees, chest. So hands above the head, folding forward, extra stretch, looking forward, tucking in, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the right. Front to meet the back into a plank, and then going down knees. And instead of chest now, go forward into chaturanga push-ups. So you're taking your elbows into your waist and your shoulders forward, and this starts to build strength in the arms so that you can ultimately do the full one. And then you can either go onto the mat and do baby chaturanga, baby upward facing dog, or otherwise you can push forward into full upward facing dog. Back into plank, and then knees, chaturanga push-up, and then into down dog. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Remembering always to breathe through your nose, doing Ujjayi breathing. And then up onto tippy toes, stepping forward on the right, left to meet the front, tucking in Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. And then we're going to do that to the other side. So hands above the head, folding forward, extra stretch, looking forward, tucking in, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the left. Front to meet the back into a plank, and then going down onto your knees, and baby chaturanga or chaturanga push-ups, and then either upward facing dog or baby upward facing dog. Back into plank, knees, chaturanga push-up, and then down dog. When you're in down dog, you want to be pushing that mat away, keeping the back nice and flat, sending the tailbone to the sky, and engaging your lower abs. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale onto tippy toes, coming forward on the left, back to meet the front, tucking in Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. And now we're going to do the full one. If you want to stay at knees, chest, if you want to do chaturanga push-ups, if you want to do a bit of everything, do what feels good for you and just enjoy your practice. So hands above the head, folding forward, extra stretch, looking forward, tucking in, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the right. Front to meet the back into a plank. And now if you want to do the full chaturanga, you need to use your toes to push you forward. So the tips of your fingers are moving, tips of your shoulders are moving forward, and your elbows are going into your waist. So we're going to go full chaturanga, slightly looking ahead of you, and then using your hands and your feet to push you into upward facing dog. Try and roll those shoulders away a little bit to open up the chest, pushing the mat away with the hands, and those thighs are active off the mat. Back into plank, and then chaturanga, and downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And as you inhale, coming onto tippy toes, looking forward, stepping forward on the right, left to meet the front, tucking in Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. Hands above the head, folding forward, extra stretch, looking forward, tucking in, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the left. Front to meet the back into a plank, And then going down chaturanga, or knees chest, or chaturanga push-ups, and then upward facing dog. Engage those glutes, and then into plank, chaturanga, and downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale onto tippy toes, looking forward, coming forward on the left, back to meet the front, tucking in Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. You should all be feeling alert, awake and alive, so we're going to do another 2 rounds, and then I'll leave it up to you to do as many more as you want. Hands above the head, folding forward, extra stretch, looking forward, tucking in Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back on the right. Front to meet the back into a plank. And then going down knees, chest or chaturanga push-up or the full chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Back into plank. Chaturanga. And downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Up onto tippy toes, looking forward. Coming forward on the right. Left to meet the right. Tucking in Uttanasana. Hands above the head. And back into Namaste. Last one. Hands above the head. Folding forward. Extra stretch, looking forward. Tucking in Uttanasana. Bend the knees, plant the hands. Stepping back on the left. Front to meet the back into a plank. And then chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Back into plank. Chaturanga, and downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale onto tippy toes, stepping forward on the left, back to meet the front, tucking in Uttanasana, hands above the head, and back into Namaste. You should all be feeling nice and warm and have all those positive endorphins pumping through your body, keeping you nice and positive at this time. You can play with your Surya Namaskar. Sometimes I like to do it really fast, so literally no breathing in between poses, so just on every breath making a motion. And sometimes I like to slow it down and make it quite a